Hello and welcome back to Unreal Engine 5 Blueprint Mastery, Door Systems and Interactive Portals. Previously, we added the functionality to add the door widget or remove the door widget based on if we are colliding with the door collision. To do that, we use the created two custom events and we use the add to viewport and remove from parent and connected them to the reference of the widget that we stored in the begin play. Then we went to our door, BP one-way door, and on begin overlap and end overlap events of the collision, we added the add door widget and remove door accordingly by getting the game mode and casting to our third-person game mode. Next, we created a function in the third-person game mode, which we called update widget text. Now, this function had an input of widget text, and it sets the text through the reference of the door widget, and we got the my widget text from it. Now, let's continue by creating the system that will update the widget text. To do that, let's go to our one-way door and create another function that we will call again update widget text. In this function, we will get our game mode and we can do the get game mode and we could cast to third-person game mode and convert to pure. But what we can do, since we are using it so often in this blueprint, we can go to our begin play, we can copy this code from here. Actually, I'm just gonna cut this code from here, go to begin play, paste it here. I'm gonna connect it as a casting node this time, and I'm gonna promote this to a variable. And as you can see, Unreal named it already as BP third-person game mode. Very convenient. I'm going to compile, and it says that it cannot compile because the target from these two functions got disconnected. This is what I meant before also, that target refers to who is supposed to do this. And self right now does not have an add door widget function. Even if it did, the target, the predetermined target of this function would be target is BP third person. So even if I make a custom event, add door widget, you can see this will still hit an error because the target is BP. We called this from the game mode. To make the error go away, we will just bring our reference from our variables over here, and we're going to connect this here and connect this here. And I think this string variable is not used anywhere. We can always find references. My name. No, it's not used anywhere. So I'm going to delete this. And I'm going to compile again. And now the error is gone. Let's go back to our widget, update widget text. Now, we don't need this. We can bring just our game mode reference, because this is storing basically the game mode, this instance of the game mode. And we're gonna update widget text. Now, we do have our function over here, which we need to populate what kind of text it will be appearing. So, to do this, we will get the door state. We're gonna switch on door state, because this is what controls. And we can actually, let's show another node. This would be much better. Let's connect this over here. There's another node that we could create some text and then adding the text there and setting that text. We could do like basically a string, or this time a text. And we could have a bunch of setters based on the switch. So we could have this one on this case, this one on this case, this one on this case, and then connect that text over here. Now, the other thing what we can do, there is another node that we can use on specific variables that it's called a select. And this select node has an wildcard index, which means it can become some types of variables. So if I press here, we can see the types of variables it can become. And as you can see, it can become an enumeration. So this means I can connect this here, and this gives me a choice for each element, so for each enumerator, basically. So when the enumerator is open, it gives me this choice. When it's closed, it gives me this choice. Now, let's fill what we need for each case. For open, we need close. For close, we need open. And for the other two, we need nothing because we are not interacting with the door at that point. So we're going to compile, save, and let's go test it. Actually, no, we need to call it first because just creating it doesn't mean we called it. When should the widget update? Of course, before we add it to the viewport. So I'm going to just bring from the functions, I'm going to drag and drop it here and connect it over here. I'm going to copy paste it and connect it below also. And the widget should update also when, well, basically the next points that we should update is whenever we are changing state, since our state affects how the widget, what the widget is supposed to say. So I'm going to drag and drop it here, and I'm going to connect both of the cables here. And as you can see, I can have two executions connecting to one node. Now I'm going to do the same. I'm going to copy this and paste it here to these two executions. So one would be the update and the other one would be the finish. Now let's go test it. I'm going to press play. Door opens. Open. Oh, we have that E over there that is not doing exactly what we want. It doesn't disappear. But yeah, let's fix that. So what we're gonna do is pretty simple. Instead of updating the widget on the timelines update, what we're gonna do is we're gonna be removing the widget. So I'm gonna copy this code over here, BP third person game mode, and remove door, and paste it in the end of the timeline, of the update of the timeline. The next thing we need to do is after updating this widget text, we should also add it to the viewport again. Oops, I pressed paste. I'm going to press copy. I'm going to paste this here and connect this here. And this should work. Let's go test. And it works. Awesome. I think this is it for this one. I'm gonna see you on the next. Goodbye.